10,000 fearless on the move. Let's go.
Deep in the delta where the willows grow, in the soil stained by the blood of my ancestors. Punch bowl voices call out to my soul for justice. The wicked will reap what they've sown. Spirit of Aziz is back on the rise. Soldiers in the delta kept it alive. Time to stand up, take our place in the sun. Understand the time and what must be done.
10,000 fearless on the move. 10K fearless. This is it. 10K fearless on the move. Mississippi. Sip.
Gotta make a move and take control. Have something we can call our own. So shine your light, help the people see that now is the time for us to be free. And if you waiting on the pie in the sky, you better wake up fast. They told you a lie, cause big fields await the wide awake man. Elijah's got the master.
10,000 fearless on the move. 10K fearless.
Did you say Mississippi?
Mississippi. 10K fearless on the move.
Once again, what they moving at?
Mississippi. Sip. Injustice, we've had enough. All of our divisions we're breaking up. Destiny has been calling us. The spirit of the Most High is guiding us.
See, the time is now. What you waiting on? Quit shooting your brothers. Put your gun down. Come on. They got a cage waiting for you if you keep that up. Early graves coming to you. From that, can't raise you up. Now, Sister Ida B and Fannie Lou, check them out and you'll know what to do. But if you really want your enemy to be alarmed, read the final call. Follow Farrakhan.
10,000 fearless on the move. 10K fearless.
We got more in Mississippi.
Mississippi. 10K fearless on the move.
Are you listening?
Mississippi. Sip. 10K fearless on the move. 10K fearless on the move. 10K fearless on the move. In Mississippi. Mississippi. 10,000 fearless on the move.
Yes, indeed. Assalamu alaikum. Peace be unto you, and welcome to yet another edition of the 10K Fearless Tri-State Podcast. I am your brother, your friend, and host, Abdul Shaheed Muhammad. And hey, we got another program on set for you tonight, and we have a special guest that will be joining us a bit later, probably at around 7:30 p.m. Special guest for tonight is our dear brother out of Holly Springs, Mississippi, Marshall County, Minister Rick Ramey. I should say Ramey, Minister Rick Ramey. And tonight we'll be discussing that we need boots on the ground to stop the killing. Because the homicide rate in a small city like Holly Springs and in Marshall County is starting to increase. And it is very, very unusual for Marshall County to have that number of incidents of shootings and homicides. So we're going to, inshallah, or be it the will of Almighty God, we're going to have a discussion centered around not only what's happening, but what can be done and what is being done to address such. But before we get into that, I always like to open, we got to open right, so we can end up right. Please allow me to say, in the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, we bear witness to the oneness of God, to the oneness of his prophets, and the oneness of the scriptures revealed through them to the whole of humanity. We greet you again with the greeting words of peace We say it in the Semitic language of all of the prophets of Assalamu alaikum, and those words mean, may peace be unto you. We're back again, brothers and sisters, and let us get right into the principles or axioms, as I call it, that undergird our conversations on every episode of the 10K Fearless Tri-State podcast. And the first one I would like to begin with tonight is a quote used by Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. when he gave his speech following the riots that took place in the cities in the 60s, the late 60s. Crisis in America's cities is where this quote comes from, that Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., may Allah be pleased with him, was quoting a man named Victor Hugo. And the quote goes as follows, quote, "If the soul is left in darkness, sins will be committed. The guilty one is not he who commits the sin, but he who causes the darkness." And that is a end quote. That's a powerful quote, brothers and sisters, because you have in America in particular, those that are interested in hiding the light of truth from the masses of the people, from the American people. It happens in government. It happens in all facets of life here in America, but unfortunately in government and even in the spiritual community, you have the hiding of the light of truth. And when you hide the light of truth, you put the people in a mental or spiritual darkness where they are not fully equipped or adequately equipped to make proper decisions for their lives, for the paths they travel, and they misjudge realities because they are bereft of, or have been deprived of, more accurately, of the requisite knowledge and understanding to make prudent and good decisions and to engage or follow the proper path. Okay, so second one I like to give to you is not also, but from Carter G. Woodson in his great work, great book, The Miseducation of the Negro, wherein Carter G. Woodson wrote, quote, "When you control a man's thinking, you do not have to worry about his actions. You do not have to tell him to go here or yonder. He will find his proper place and will stay in it. You do not need to send him to the back door. He will go without being told. In fact, if there's not a back door, he will cut one for his special benefit. His education makes it necessary." They're very powerful. And the way we have been educated, whether it be religiously, even educationally, we haven't been educated, we've been trained. And there is a difference between being educated and being trained. And for the most part, we as a people have accepted being trained. And when you're trained, you act based on what the trainer trained you to do. And our trainer has not been God. God does not train. He raises us in consciousness into his thinking that we may view things from his perspective. That is true education, brothers and sisters. I want to give us another one from Sister Ava Muhammad, student Sister Minister Ava Muhammad, the Nation of Islam. May Allah be pleased with her. And A New Way of Life is a book that she wrote. And I found this quote in the book. She said, quote, "The greatest disservice Black people do to our youth and to our children is to rob them of their innate belief that all things are possible. Children believe that all things are possible. This allows them to create the world they want for themselves. You rob your children of being able to create because they are born to live in a world you haven't seen." End quote. Very powerful. Because we rob our children. We do that. We rob them of the belief that all things are possible by taking a posture that, well, we can't change things. It's just the way it is. And our children don't accept that. So they abandon us. That's why they're not in church. That's why they're not involved in community organizations. Because we rob them of the belief that we can accomplish what we set out to accomplish. We have the mentality, well, we can't fight City Hall. We can't fight the powers that be. But our children don't think like that. Have you noticed? I want to leave you with a final quote, which is from the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. And he said these words, which I think are very, very you know, they're very applicable today, especially today. But the Honorable Louis Farrakhan said to us these words, quote, "When you see men fall, don't laugh, learn. Learn because you're on your way up, and the things that tempt people to fall, you and I are not free from that temptation, nor from the weakness that will cause us to stumble and fall. When you laugh at somebody else's fall, white or black, rich or poor, your enemy or your friend, you're laughing and opening a way for your own demise when you do that. Because to laugh and not learn, to make a mockery and to not understand is to make the same mistake yourself." End quote. So let's keep those things in mind as we move forward and strive to make our communities safe and decent places to live, as we engage one another, as we engage those who may not be as knowledgeable as we are, and particularly those who we even feel had it coming when they fall. Some of us do have it coming, but even so, we should not make a mockery of their fall, because God himself, when he destroys the wicked, now listen at this now, when God destroys the wicked, he takes no pleasure in it. He does it because his law and his way is just. So the Holy Quran says, Allah wronged them not, but they wronged themselves. In another place it says, and he, God, Allah God, is not the least unjust to his servants. So brothers and sisters, it's about, what time is it now? Oh, it's about 7:12. We're going to have the farm report coming in from Brother William. Yes, he's going to come on and give us the farm report. We're also going to have the health segment from our sister Lynchelle X. So for right now, we're going to do as we always do. We're going to go and get all of our people that support us. We're going to get some commercial announcements in here, and you all just hold on and stand by, and we will be right back after these commercial announcements. And God said to Moses, "I will raise them up a prophet from among their brethren like unto thee, and I will put my words in his mouth, and he shall speak unto them all that I shall command him." Every other house is abandoned on the street, with a homeless squat inside the filth, so in need. Brothers on the porch, hands in their pockets, looking up and down the street.
Shake's Famous Seasonings, flavors for every occasion. Want to add a touch of authentic flavor to any dish? Searching for a unique range of seasonings that always put great taste on the menu? Welcome to Shake's Famous Seasonings. Whether you're a professional chef, passionate home cook, or a complete beginner in the kitchen, taste and flavor should always be on the menu. It's why Master Chef Rashid Muhammad has combined more than 30 years in the kitchen with a passion for mouth-watering flavors to create a range of seasonings unlike any other. Always gluten-free, so you can enjoy great taste exactly how nature intended. Versatile flavors that work with fresh fish, chicken, or vegetables from the very first bite. Authentic cooking experience that adds something special to any occasion. Versatile seasonings that are perfect for baking, frying, grilling, and plenty of tasting. Ready for real, authentic flavor? When it's time to see just how delicious seasoned foods can be, why wait? With the click of a button, you can have 30 years of passion for food sent direct to your door. Just what you need to add flavors to every occasion and create meals that you'll always want to eat twice.
Place your order at sfseasonings.com. That's sfseasonings.com.
The Urban Indulgence Bath and Body Boutique At Urban Indulgence, we pride ourselves on offering quality, effective skincare. Handcrafted with plant-based, skin-loving ingredients, our soaps and body butters will give you luxurious lather and ultimate moisture. Experience the Urban Indulgence at 3314 Poplar Avenue in Memphis, 3 blocks west of Poplar Plaza, or shop with us online at theurbanindulgence.com. Theurbanindulgence.com.
Worldwide, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Download the Final Call radio app and take us everywhere. On your phone, on your computer, on your tablet, on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. You can also log on to finalcall.com and click the Listen Live button or finalcallradio.com. Final Call Radio, the official voice of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan and the Nation of Islam.
What's your source for truth in news reports?
Justice, no peace. No justice, no peace.
Where do you turn for non-corporate driven news that's fair and balanced?
Don't shoot. Don't shoot. Don't shoot.
Subscribe to the Final Call News, your #1 free and independent news source that delivers hard-hitting national and international news coverage of today's political, economic, and social issues. To subscribe to local home delivery, call us at area code 662-252-8999. That's 662-252-8999. Visit our website at www.finalcall.com.
10,000 fearless on the move.
Yes, indeed. We are back live here with the 10K Fearless Tri-State Podcast. Once again, I am your friend, your brother, and your host, Abdul Shaheed Muhammad. And listen, tonight we got a special guest, where we will be discussing the need for boots on the ground to stop the killing. Our special guest tonight is Minister Rick Ramey from Holly Springs, Mississippi. We'll have him on shortly. But before we go there, we got to get our farm report and the health segment in. So I got my brother William on hold. Let's see. Brother William. Are you there, sir?
Yes, sir. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam, sir. What's going on the farm nowadays, sir?
Yes, sir. Actually, we getting ready to have it. I was just trying to find the exact date. I had looked at it a little earlier, but I thought I could remember the date. But at Muhammad Farms, we're getting ready to have our annual weed pulling weed pulling festival. And this is the time when we have people come from different study groups and mosques across the nation to come out and pull weeds out of the fields. Because, Dr. Ridgely, he doesn't spray any herbicides or pesticides on the crops. Everything is natural and organic.
Yes, sir.
So, the farm is 1,600 acres, so that's a lot of land to be trying to, pull some weeds up, just a few people. So we have 2 different dates, but it's going on next month. And inshallah, before the program is over with, I'm going to try to put it on the thread.
Yes, sir.
In the comment section.
Okay.
So, if anyone is interested in participating, then the information will be there.
Okay.
And yes, sir. So and then we're also looking for next couple of months. Hopefully, we have some watermelons ready, along with some other things at Muhammad Farms.
Yes, sir. Praise be to Allah. This is a very important brother to me, you all, Brother William. He's going to be a very important brother to us. I applaud him in his work and what he's doing. He's steadfast, self-motivated brother that stays on top of our staple goods program, as well as keeping us abreast of what's being planted down in Ackerman. Brother William, man, I saw in the news today, man, where the Strait of Hormuz, we would not think, many of us, that would have anything to do with agriculture. But according to what the report that I saw today, they said a prolonged shutdown of the Strait of Hormuz is going to produce a food crisis because a lot of the compost or fertilizer comes through that strait. Did you hear that? Had you seen that yet, brother?
Yes, sir. I've been aware of that for a few weeks, and actually, even before that, I was kind of aware of it. But in the last few weeks, I've been aware of it and kind of keeping up with it.
Uh-huh.
But what I've been doing is I've been trying to make my way to people who have cattle.
Yes.
And this is a really it's a tedious process that I'm going through because we want to make sure we get the right, cow manure for our fertilizer, but we want to get the kind that does not have any chemicals in it.
Right.
Of course, we know that they spray the grazon in the hay fields and the cows eat it, and they pass it on through the manure, and then when you put it out there, it doesn't allow any of your crops to grow.
Wow.
So that's a tedious job trying to find out which cattle farmers, people, or just people in general who are not actually farmers, but they have cattle.
Uh-huh.
If they're letting the cows just free graze without hay being bought in, or if the hay is grown naturally without herbicides, and also even with the people who have the chicken farmers, because we use chicken manure as well.
Wow.
So we just have to know where is the feed coming from, if it has chemicals in it or not. And so that's the process that I'm engaged in right now, trying to find out so that we won't be going through what a lot of other people are actually already starting to feel when it comes to the fertilizer compost being brought in.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Praise God. Brother William, anything else you got for us, man? You gave us the national report. Anything state, local that you...
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Most definitely. On the state side, like I say, last week we had already began planting. We got yellow squash, rutabaga, we got corn. We plan to plant some watermelon this time. We got cantaloupe, we got tomatoes, we got okra, we got zucchini and tomatoes and a few other things that we're trying to grow. So some of the plants are already coming. We got green beans as well.
Yes, sir.
Some of the plants have already started coming up.
Mm-hmm.
And now, we had a lot of rain to come in, so we haven't been able to do anything in the fields. It's kind of muddy.
Right.
So in the next week or so, it should be, enough so that we can be able to get back out there if the rain doesn't just, overtake us again.
Yes, sir.
And I'm hoping that it doesn't. Right. Yes, sir. And also on the last front, which is our local project, here in Holly Springs, because we're trying to get something going before May the 20th. That's when we want to have seeds in the ground. We don't want to go beyond May the 20th. Right. So inshallah, in the next 2 Sundays, we will be actually bringing the tillers out. And we are a little late, but it's not too late.
Yes, sir.
But we'll be actually bringing the tillers out, plowing up the ground, rolling it up, and getting ready to put some seeds in the ground on our local project.
Yes, sir. And brother, look, I want to say to the listening audience, we're going to announce this, God willing. Hopefully we can put a flyer out. Those in the community that would like to come see what we're doing or lend a helping hand, it's going to be important, brothers and sisters, that every little piece of land or property we got where we can put some seeds in the ground, it's going to benefit us, because what they are projecting in terms of food insecurity, which is already existing in North Mississippi, food deserts, where you have to travel several, miles just to get fresh food. And I know we have a Walmart in Holly Springs. We have Carlisle's, Imagine just 2 or 3 days of not being able to get a food truck in due to food shortages and whatnot. And the larger metropolises are more than likely going to serve first. It would behoove us here in Marshall County to circle our wagons, because there are others growing food. And I think, Brother William, it would be good, man, to have a farmers conference of some sort in North Mississippi with small farms, people who have small gardens and whatnot, to talk about how to service the community if in the event of some type of calamity or some event, natural or otherwise, causes food insecurity to be even worse than what it already is. What do you think about that, brother?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I think it'll be an excellent idea.
Yes, sir. Well, praise God. Well, look, Brother William, man, as always, we always thank you, brother, for your reporting and for coming on to the program and keeping us aware of what's going on the farm. Until next time, brother, we'll be back at you, all right?
Yes, sir.
All right. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalam, sir.
Once again, that was our brother William Muhammad with the Farm Report. And brothers and sisters, like we've just said, it's going to behoove us to pay attention to what's going on with regard to food and what's happening in the agriculture world and its connection to what's happening abroad with these wars. We're going to move right on quickly. We're going to get my sister Lynchelle X in. She's going to give us the health segment. Sister Lynchelle, assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam, sir.
How are you tonight, ma'am?
I'm doing well by the grace of Allah, sir. How are you?
I'm doing well. And of course, sister, we applaud your efforts as well. We thank you for coming as a health professional in the nursing industry to give us some pointers on how to secure our health, because going forward, the healthier you are, the more fit we are to endure, what really everybody see coming. So what do you have for us tonight?
Well, what I have for us today, I know I've been talking about, I started our last talk about the prevention tips, and I wanted to get back on that because I know I got off a little bit talking about sodium, but I'm definitely going to talk about that. It'll probably be in the next our next broadcasting, because I'm going to talk about different foods and different ways to prepare foods.
Yes, ma'am.
But one of the preventative ways to help our African Americans, community with heart health is staying active. Like, Brother Williams said, they're getting out there in the fields, they're getting out there in the garden, getting things together, walking to the mailbox or, walking around the block or, now things are so conveniently where you can do, home deliveries, which is fine in some cases, but it's nothing wrong with getting out and going to the grocery store and actually looking and reviewing your produce and things that you're wanting to select. And one of the things that it was talking about as far as the physical activity, physical activity alone lowers your blood pressure.
Yes, ma'am.
It improves cholesterol. It reduces overall cardiovascular risk. Mm-hmm. Yet structured boundaries may make regular exercise more challenging in our community, because unfortunately our community is probably one of the top ones that deal with obesity.
Yeah.
And it all circles around what we eat and how we prepare our food. So that may be challenging, but, on YouTube and different platforms, they do have chair exercises that we can still do to stay active. And nearly 60% of Black adults have some form of cardiovascular disease. Wow. Physical activity is one of the strongest protective factors.
Whoa. Sure, we need to play a little basketball in the hoods or something. I found out that
basketball. And we all may have little children, and yes, I'm probably one of the ones in the group that when my twins want to come and play, I'm like, no, not right now, baby, mama's tired. But even if you tired, just build up some strength and say, okay, I'm gonna go play a little bit. I'm gonna get in the floor. There's nothing wrong with waking that little child up on the inside to come out and play with the kids on the the outside.
Right. Yes, ma'am.
So that would definitely help us. And then another thing is to know your cardiovascular numbers. Given that African Americans are 35% more likely to die from major heart and blood vessel diseases, knowing your numbers like blood pressure, cholesterol, blood sugars, especially, and your BMI, which is your body mass index, is critical. Regular screenings can help catch problems early, especially diabetes, high cholesterol, which often go undiagnosed.
Right.
And if we do our regular, for those that participate in the Healthy Use, all of those are pretty much free screenings because they call it preventative. So if you go and you get all your numbers, it's always good to know where your numbers stand, because when you know where your numbers stand, you know where you stand health wise. If if your cholesterol is high, we have a good and bad cholesterol. And the good cholesterol is to help tame the bad cholesterol. But when your bad cholesterol is all out of source, then they try to quote unquote put you on medicine. But there are other holistic ways, like your diet.
Yes, ma'am.
That can help trigger that down. And I just want to stress to our community just how imperative it is, because we already don't trust people teaching us as adults. How can you trust somebody else teaching our children, our next generation? So in order for us to prevent leaving that in somebody else's hands, we have to be around to do that.
Yes.
So to be around to do that is to make sure we are on top of our health, especially your heart health.
Yes, ma'am.
Especially your heart health. That's
Praise
all I have for us today.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm definitely coming back with more. And thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much, sister, for the report. Heart health, brothers and sisters, heart health. And I know I need to do better myself. We thank our dear sister Lynchelle X, for her report. And God willing, sis, we'll have you back the next time we're broadcasting. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam, sir.
Praise God. And I'm trying to get my brother Rick in, and I see him on the board, and he's ready to come in. Brother Rick, if you would, press one of those circles that say call in. Again, my brother, I see you on the dashboard. And for some reason, when it says, okay, I see the invite. There we go. Let's see. It's saying, sorry, can't join now, but may call in. Make sure you're logged in, my brother, with your Google account. That's more than likely why you can't get on. But I see you. Now I see he dropped off. He's going to make sure he's logged on. Brothers and sisters, we thank our brother William and Sister Lynchelle for their reports, and I applaud their efforts and applaud their work. I do not take for granted that they take time out and come on this podcast and inform our people. Let's see, we got Brother Rick coming back. Let's see what happens this time. Look like he's going to let him in, because he's fixing to let him in. Better let him in. Okay. There he is. Brother Rick.
How you doing, sir?
Man, I'm Blacktastic. There he is. Yeah. There my brother is. Brother Rick, man, we thank you so much for coming in and being a part of tonight's program. First of all, brother, welcome to the 10K Fearless Tri-State Podcast. And thank you for accepting our humble invitation to come and have this discussion. As we said at the head of the program, tonight's discussion is going to be centered around we need boots on the ground to stop the killing. And you're our special guest. And the need for leaders and concerned citizens to become more active in the streets of our communities in North Mississippi to help our young people resolve these interpersonal conflicts without resorting to violence. Okay. So, Brother Rick, I want to get in real good, my brother, and speak loudly right into your phone, because I want them to hear every word you got to say. I talked to this brother earlier today, and he was on fire with the spirit and his passion about, doing something good in the community and getting involved and getting others involved. I said, well, brother, I'm gonna let you have it all tonight. So I want to begin, Brother Rick. Introduce yourself to us, man. Introduce yourself to our listening audience.
As he said earlier, my name is Minister Rick Ramey, but I just say I'm a common guy. The minister in me just lets me do what I do without any insecurities from the people that I meet. I just introduce myself as Rick Ramey. That's the way I introduce myself. The title doesn't make me. I make that title.
Yes, sir.
If we have so long gotten hung up on the titles of a person and not looking at the heart of a person. And so that's why I introduce myself as just a man. I'm a man trying to work for my community and trying to make my environment better as a whole.
Wow.
And so I've been in the ministry since 2009, I believe. I've been ordained since 2010. So I've been in the ministry a long time, but I don't lead with my ministry. I lead with my message.
Yes,
And
sir.
I try to get people closer. If you can't, one of the wisest sayings, if you can't catch a fish, you can't clean it.
Come on now.
And so many times we have people that shy away from preachers and pastors, or we don't get the real them because we running around pretending or touting our accolades and degrees and knowledge and all of that, but we haven't looked at the heart. So I'm looking at heart issues right now.
Yes, sir.
That's what I'm looking at.
Yes, sir.
And my war cry comes from Psalms 27. If you want to know who I am, Psalms 27 will tell you exactly who I am.
See, I'm finna go to my e-Bible now.
Say again.
I'm finna go to my e-Bible now and look up Psalms 27.
Yes, sir. I'm gonna tell you what it is.
Okay.
It says, "The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear?
Come on,
The
man.
Lord is the strength of my life. Of whom shall I be afraid? When the wicked, even my enemies and my foes, came upon me to eat up my flesh, they stumbled and fell." Then it goes on to say, "Though a host should encamp against me, my heart shall not fear.
That's
Though
right.
war should rise against me, and this will I be confident." And I'll pause right there to go from there, because my sisters and brothers, we are at war, and we think we're in peace.
Ooh-wee.
We're at war right now, and we think we're in peace. We are being. I think it was the great Malcolm X that said we've been hoodwinked, bamboozled, led astray, misinformed, all of these things.
Yes, yes.
And we're going about. We have stopped going about to gain God's righteousness and started establishing our own righteousness. And
yes, sir.
I preached a sermon one time that says, we don't live by the 10 commandments anymore. We have invented our own commandment, which is the 11th commandment, and that is, thou shalt not get caught.
Boy, look, I look like I done found me a Christian soldier. So I say onward, Christian soldier. And you know, brother, that's refreshing to hear. I've never heard. I mean, I met you as a result of the Let's Talk About It gatherings that were hosted by the Marshall County Chamber of Commerce. And we kind of connected in my heart. I believe I connected. I said, this brother is serious. And he's talking about doing, because the scripture says, blessed be the hearers and the doers of the word. But the things you've just said, brother, about titles, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan took titles from us back in 2007. He made us, instead of calling ourselves minister, he made us call ourselves student minister.
Okay.
Because you are always a student of God. You can never exhaust what God can teach. So from the cradle to the grave, we are students, and the fearlessness. That's why we named this podcast, brother, the 10,000 Fearless. When we got that from the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, and I really appreciate you quoting the 27th Psalm, because that's the attitude and the mentality it takes, brother. We cannot be afraid. If we believe that the Lord is in fact our strength, if we really believe that,
that's right.
What business we got being scared of anything and anybody? So
that's right.
That's who Rick Ramey is, y'all. So thank you, brother, for that introduction. So let's get into it, man. I want to. We were having a discussion when we talked briefly earlier today, preparing for tonight's podcast, and we talked about the recent shootings and homicides in Marshall County, and I want to just mention a few of them. In 2026, the one that just happened this past April the 12th, right there at 311, 19-year-old man killed right in his own driveway. Said the police found 12 to 15 shell casings from an AK-47. This is a military grade weapon. And then the Wall Hill area, there was a shooting at a horse show on Highway 309. Brother in Benton County was left dead.
Yes.
And then there was in March, CJ's Lounge, the one right up the street from us.
The young Jeffries kid. I can't remember his name. Yes.
DeAndre, Jeff, I think Jeffries or Jeff.
Yeah, that's what it was. DeAndre, yes.
And,
Absolutely.
condolences go out to all of these families. And then of August, last year, man, we had a man and a woman was found dead at separate locations. One was at the Circle K on Highway 7, and then one was at Heaven Acres and Northwest Boundary Drive in Holly Springs. And then in July of 2024, 4 people, the multiple homicide, and then the young man committed suicide. It was 3 women and a man. The brother shot 3 women and then killed himself right there on Woodwood Avenue in Holly Springs. And there have been others. A 16-year-old that was killed right in front of the smoke shop. The young man that was killed right there on Valley Street at that park there. And this is Holly Springs. All of this within the span of the past 12 to 18 months,
Correct.
So it's concerning, brother. And a final note before I ask this question, the Marshall County Sheriff's Office, I found out, as well as the Holly Springs Police Department, they have had to establish a joint violent crimes task force just to manage those investigations. So absolutely, I can probably say that, they are probably strained in their resources addressing these things. So we as a community, which is why this conversation is being held tonight and why we invited you, brother, because I've heard and I've seen some of the things that you're doing. Now, first question I want to ask you, how does, and we're talking about contributing factors, how does being poor, lack of education, and other factors, miseducation, contribute to the problem of violence as you see it in Marshall County and Holly Springs?
It contributes greatly because when you are in poverty, you don't want to hear this love thy neighbor when your neighbor look like they are getting rich and you can barely make ends meet. So it's just like when I got my first 2 children, they were during a time that I didn't even know what it was to be a dad. I was still growing up myself. But what I did do was I did not walk away from my children, and I struggled. And this is what you hear a lot of people say, that you go through the struggle. So my older children got to see a different version of me because I was struggling and trying to grow and gain wealth so that they would be able to be okay. Right. But my younger children got to see where I had gotten established and got on my feet. And if they needed something, they could just ask me. I was able to afford to put them in different school systems and all of that. So I had 2 different experiences with my children with them growing up. Right. But they all survived it. But I wanted for the older ones the same thing that the younger ones seemed to get from me, which was a better way of living. And if you can't pay your bills, then you're going to be forced to do some things that are illegal and out of the will of God.
Yes, sir.
Those things. So when you're in poverty, and I wouldn't say necessarily that I was in poverty because I was still home with my dad. I still had a place to stay, so I didn't have to have a mortgage and all that stuff. But it was just I didn't have what I wanted for them to have. So I've sold drugs and stuff like that when I was younger, but that was before my children. Though when I got my oldest daughter, that's what changed my life. Like, what do I want for her? What do I want? What example do I want her to see? Right. What do I want her to be? If I'm not there. Right. And so I raised my oldest children. Mostly they live with me most of their life. Right. So. That plays a big part, and then I'll speak to this, that men not being in the house is another part of it. Yes, sir. That men not being in the house and he doesn't necessarily have to live in the house. But when a man calls and says he wants to see his children, he wants to get them, our mothers have to understand that they can't teach a child what a man can teach a child.
That's correct.
And the structure of a man, if he's a real man, even if he's a struggling man, is still way better than a woman's standpoint of it. And I'm not taking anything from our women.
Yeah.
They're doing the best they can with what they have, and they're using what they have at their disposal to
Right.
get the children grown. But if you want them to be better adults and more advanced adults, you have to put them around men.
Yes, sir. That is a fact.
For the young ladies to see what type of man they want to maybe fall in love with and court and marry or date and marry, however you want to do it. But you got to have somebody as a male factor example in their life. And you have to choose wisely. We got to start choosing by the spirit rather than the flesh.
Come on now.
Yes,
sir. Yes, sir.
The word says that the spirit is always willing, but the flesh is weak.
Yes, sir.
And so I think a lot, and that was one of the discussions that I had, and we were talking earlier about it, that I made this statement of, we got to stop thinking that a wedding makes you married.
That's
we got to
right.
stop thinking that a piece of paper makes you married.
That's
we
right.
got to stop thinking that a $10,000 ring makes you married. None of those things make you married.
That is correct.
You have to have God in the center of your lives, and put God where He's supposed to be, and then you'll be able to be married. And you have to be soul tied or heart tied to each other. That's what makes you married.
Yes,
and
sir.
I'm not saying don't go through the legalities and all of these things. Don't give unto Caesar what's due Caesar by signing the paper, marriage papers, marriage documents, and all that. But if you are going to sign some papers, knowing that tomorrow you don't even want to be around this person, then you're not married.
That's correct. That is absolutely correct. That is correct. So, brother, man, I mean, I really appreciate the perspective, because the family is the cornerstone of any community, and the lack of education, poverty, of course, those are contributing factors, and us men, we're making children, walking away from them. We're getting in relationships that are not healthy. And we're marrying because I got her pregnant. And, as we were talking earlier, they'll use the scripture, it's better to marry than to burn in your flesh. Now that has to be put in context. There's a thing, that we don't engage in anymore called courtship. Where you courted a person, you courted the woman, and the woman was pursued by the man. Nowadays, women are pursuing men and fighting over them.
Women. That's where I was going, man. That's the reason that we go on Facebook and TikTok and we see all these young women out there in the streets fighting, pulling out hair that they paid $700-800 for, pulling off shirts and things, all scarring themselves up with their children standing there watching. I'm like, when did we get to this point of exhibitionism has gotten so rampant and so bad that it's causing a lot of anger in people that's unnecessary.
Right.
Because some of the stuff that women do and some of the stuff that men do as well on Facebook and on TikTok and on Twitter, they wouldn't do it standing in your face.
Right.
The exhibitionism that we have created, and it's by design. It's by design.
It's by design.
All that stuff to keep you distracted.
Right.
From the goals. And I'll say this, as little children now, I see children 2, 3, 4 years old walking around with tablets, and they can't even walk for this tablet. And that tablet should not be training your child. You should.
Yes. As a matter of fact,
says, train up a child in the way that they should go. If they're following in that tablet, then you're not training them. That tablet is.
Yeah, exactly, brother.
I know. This is the response. I know, but sometimes I'm stressed out. Yeah, but I was stressed out for 20-something years. My oldest is 30 years old. I was stressed out from the time that their doctor put her in my hand. I was stressed out.
Yes, sir. I understand,
but I didn't give
brother.
them a tablet, sit them in somewhere, and just say, "Here, focus on this," and then walk away. And you don't know what they're looking at or what is being injected into their mind, into their mind stream, and into their DNA.
Yes, sir.
These things are destroying our children. If you take a tablet from that kid, they lose their mind.
Yes, sir. And that's a mental problem.
Self-control. We're not teaching respect of each other. We're not teaching keep your hands to yourself. We're not teaching any of these things. Just put a tablet in their hand and let them go.
Brother, man, look, I was just watching a report a few hours earlier. There's lawsuits now They are suing Mark Zuckerberg and TikTok, and they've settled for large sums of money because of the mental illness that social media and the algorithms that they are feeding children is ill affecting them. Some of the children are committing suicide. So it's become a public health problem to some degree that our children are so asphyxed on smartphones and social media. I mean, when I was a school officer, brother, when it was time for a parent-teacher conference, couldn't get the parent to show up. Anything that dealt with the child's behavior in school and their grades and all of those things, mama didn't have time. Whoever the guardian was didn't have time. So I figured out with the administrators, I said, I tell y'all how to get the parent up here. I know how to get them up here.
Absolutely.
Take that phone. Take that cell phone. And brother, before the school day was over, they was up in that main office raising HE double hockey sticks about that cell phone, which is a shame that that phone is that important to where the child's success in class and the child's conduct in class is subordinated to an electronic device. And those are the mentalities, brother, that give rise to what we see happening in the community with regard to the violence we see. We've been desensitized to our own plight and our own humanity. I mean, we've just been desensitized. But what are some of the contributing factors amongst our youth? We said poverty. We talked about a lack of education. We've already gone into the family dynamic where we have unhealthy relationships to begin with, and our broken families are the things that are contributing to what we see happening. But as you see it, because you made me aware that you work with young people, what are some of the things that go on between the young people that you get an opportunity to be with that contribute, that as you see it?
Well, when a child comes into my area, I try to make their experience a fun one and a memorable one. I give them structure, but I also give them time to be children, and I meet a child where they are. So when we had that meeting at the Southern Eatery, I want to shout her out because she took time to open her restaurant late at night for us and things, and that was awesome. For her to teach the young women. So we need both of us, women and men, to come together and start teaching our children again. So in our conversation with the two young men that we had, what was it, 2 or 3?
It was 3
young men that we had, and I asked about peer pressure. And they said that they hadn't experienced peer pressure. And then I painted a picture.
I remember that.
And they were like, and then they said, well, yeah, I did it because he had it. I said, that's peer pressure. So I think that it's a lack of understanding as to what peer pressure is.
Exactly.
I think they are misunderstanding the difference between peer pressure and bullying. That's what I think, because peer pressure is not bullying. Peer pressure is cunning, just like a serpent.
Yes, sir.
It makes you feel comfortable, just like the serpent did with Mary. He made her feel comfortable.
Yeah, suggestions.
And that's how he was able to infiltrate. And that's how we are in our daily life now. We get comfortable with certain things on our job. I tell anybody that when I was married, I would tell my wife, we don't go to work to make friends. We go to work to make money.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not going to be mean to them. Yeah, but that's how you open the door and allow certain things. Certain things happen on our job because we open the door to too many things. I got to be friend. I'm not like that. I'm not built like that. I don't treat people like that. Well, it's not treating people bad. I don't treat people bad. I just set boundaries.
Yes, sir.
So that you understand how to deal with me.
That is correct.
And that's with adults and children. So if you don't set a boundary, people will overstep where you hadn't set that boundary and keep going.
Yeah, man.
They'll come in and infiltrate your whole house and destroy your whole house or destroy your legacy if you don't set boundaries.
That's right.
And every household needs boundaries.
Yes, sir.
Every parent needs to set a time for them to go to bed, whatever time that you decide, will it coincide with your work schedule or whatever. But when I was married, my ex, we would have some of our biggest arguments about what time the children should go to bed.
Wow.
And I would say they need to go to bed before 8:30, 9 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
And her response was, well, I lived with my mom. I didn't have a curfew.
Whoa.
Well, you're not living with your mom.
Yeah.
And we're not talking about you.
That is true.
And with that argument went on for such a long time until we went to the doctor one day and they were like, well, how are they sleeping? And I'm like, well, talk to her. Ask her how they're sleeping. And the doctor had to tell her, well, you need to set a early bedtime so that they can go to sleep and get. And once the doctor told her, now she, okay, I understand. That then became insulting to me because I've been saying it the whole time.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I feel you, brother.
So, a house divided against itself cannot stand either.
That's
so, not being on the same page, not being equally yoked, not wanting the same thing for the child. One of the things I say to parents when they ask me about their child or something like that, I ask them to take that little baby out of their arms mentally and watch what they do. And then imagine them doing it when they're 20, 30, 40 years old. Is it going to be cute then?
No, it ain't going to be cute then, Doc. It ain't going to be nothing cute about it.
If it's not going to be cute at 20 or 30 or 40, why are you allowing them to do it at 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5?
Mm-hmm.
If you take it out of them early, then that's one less thing that you have to deal with.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
One of the things I tell people with my grandmother, now it's this power struggle of I got to walk in my masculine because I don't have a man. No, you don't.
No, brother.
There's no way possible that you can be. You are an abomination if you're walking in your masculine.
Come on now, talking about being an alpha female. You've heard that language?
Alpha female. My grandmother didn't go around the house talking about she was an alpha female. My grandmother simply walked in the room and everything stopped. She didn't have to beat her chest and raise her voice. When she said what she said, she meant it, and that was the law.
Yeah.
When my grandfather walked in the house at the end of the day, it wasn't no yelling and screaming back and forth because he was the head of the house. And she was the queen of the house.
Man.
So you don't have to get out of your place to be what you need to be.
Wow. I find it interesting that, the B word is tossed around, while women are concerned, and they get very, very offended, as they should. I'm not saying they shouldn't, but they'll turn around and identify with a term like alpha female. Alpha female, it's a reference to a dog pack. And we know the B word is the B is a female dog. So, I mean, that's just an observation I make. And when I hear sisters talking about, and men are just as wrong for referring to ourselves as an alpha male, because sisters say all men are dogs, and then we turn around and say, no, I ain't no dog, but I'm an alpha male. See, this language,
that's dog pack mentality.
Right? This language, all of this stuff lends itself to a decaying family structure, decaying community, and it has culminated in what we're looking at. But I want to also ask you, brother, one of the things that we've reported on in the Final Call newspaper is the level of medicating that's done to our children. Have you seen that working with the young people you work?
Yeah, melatonin.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Did you say melatonin? I'm talking about psychotropic.
Melatonin. Yeah, give them melatonin.
No, I'm talking about have you seen our children on psych meds?
Yes, that thing started over 10 years ago.
Oh yeah.
Of medicating their children for that. And that goes to the Ritalin things like that. But the children are not taking the meds. I don't know what the parent think they're doing because, when they giving them the meds, the children are not taking them. And when they take them, they say they're so lethargic they can't even function.
Oh, so that's why you call it melatonin.
Well, no, oh my goodness, Ritalin and all of those things.
Yes.
Make them so down that melatonin. If you gave them melatonin, they would probably sleep for the next 6, 7. But I'm talking about with little children.
Yes,
that the moms and things can't get them to go to sleep or whatever. They give them melatonin to get them to go to sleep. I've experienced that now with this, and they say it's this post-COVID baby that they're so hard to deal with. And I'm like, is that really true?
I think we've gotten lazy as parents.
Something that, I don't think it's true. I think that, if we were to change our way of thinking,
that's correct.
When it comes to the child, then we would get a better result when the child grows.
Yes, sir. One of the things, brother, that's contributing to the deteriorating structure of the household with regard to parenting is that there are a lot of economic factors. There are a lot of political things going on. The income, the rise in the cost of living is to the point to where 2 incomes are required. There was a time, brother, when
3 incomes are required now.
Yeah, 3. You're correct. There was a time though, but I can remember growing up when if dad had a good job, my family wasn't like that, but I had friends who had a father that worked in Memphis when they had Firestone International Harvester and Hunter Fan, these industries that were in Memphis. And if somebody's dad worked at one of those factories, well, that was considered, at least in my community, man, they had a good family. They grew up in a middle-class neighborhood. They went to the good schools. They had a car. You know what I'm saying? They wore nice clothes. They had the new style coming to school. I wasn't fortunate enough. My household, we weren't the working class, quote unquote, black family. We were poor. My parents were good parents though. Now they did the best they could with what they had, as you said earlier about our women. But
they inducted. They taught our children. They taught us how to be good citizens.
Exactly.
And good stewards.
But nowadays, brother, as you just stated, it takes 3 incomes, and because there's no attention on the children, and when the children get home, mom ain't got time for them. She's tired because she's been working all day. So in Memphis, at least what I've seen, and mirroring what you've just stated, there's a rise in this tendency to put our children on these psychotropic meds just because they're not paying attention in class.
Yes.
And a guidance counselor will say, well, he got some kind of attention deficit. And they diagnose your children with ADD. And it's like, where did this diagnosis come from? Who said this? And before you know it, because mama is so stressed out, she's accepting of this idea to put her child on this medication. So have you seen in Holly Springs and Marshall County the effects of the children being on those psychotropic meds in terms of their behavior, acting out? Have you seen that?
Yes, I saw it firsthand. My middle son was acting out, doing a lot of things, getting in trouble because he was hanging with the wrong crowd. But it was more so him and the DNA makeup of who he was. He took more to his mother's side of playfulness and wanting to get into trouble and being stubborn and stiff necked. So he was doing a lot of things, and I was disciplining him. And I wanted to make sure that I wasn't over disciplining him to the point of, I'm causing a detriment to him. So I've reached out and got some assistance for him. And one of the things, that's how I know firsthand that when they put him on, they diagnosed him as oppositionally defiant.
Whoa, what is that? Okay, no, let me be quiet. Go ahead, brother.
Yeah. The oppositionally defiant. I was like, what? That's the same thing I said. Like, what?
What
They
is
was like,
that?
yeah, he was gonna challenge everything you say. And this is a legal diagnosis that they have given children, and they have put them on these the drugs you're talking about. And so I tried the drugs that they were talking about, and put him on them, and he would be so lethargic through the day. I'm like, this is not what I want my child to be. I want him to, just stop doing some of the things that he's doing. And I think that when I realized that the medicine was harming him more than it was helping him, I took him off of it, which was probably a month of him being on it. And I started getting creative with ways to get him to calm down. And that was to have him so tired by the time he got to bed that he would go right to sleep, and then he would be more calm when he got to school the next morning. So some of those things work. I just learned to deal with his energy and things like that more then. And he said I was still hard on him, but I was like, no, I just wasn't going to allow you to be a criminal and not try to do anything. And thank God that today he's not a criminal, has not been in jail, or none of those things from all the stuff that I did. And I was building a road at my house on this particular in this particular era, and so I took him out. I was like, look, you got to unload this whole trailer with gravel before you come in the house.
Oh man!
And he would be so tired when he came in the house. I'm like, hey, look, you gotta do what you gotta do in school and stop all this nonsense. I don't have time to keep on keeping up with you and following you around. So those are the things that I did as a tactic then, and it kept him. So now he has a good, excellent work ethic. That I think, he works and does things, but he's not in trouble, anything like that. He's not in a mental institution or none of that. He's able to function as an adult. He even has his own child. Right. And I'm like, hey, so, y'all, you go ahead and show me what life is all about now. So, yes, those are the things that we got to try to minimize, is putting our children on those drugs, because it messes with their DNA makeup.
Yes, sir. It messes with them mentally. Yeah, definitely. Yes, sir.
Yeah, it messes with them and messes with them mentally. And then the moment they get off of it, it's almost like a weight loss drug. As long as you're taking it, the new weight loss drugs that they have, as long as you're taking it, you consistently losing weight. Your appetite is suppressed, all those things. But then when you get off of it, it's up to you to control yourself to not eat, to get back past and it's going to shoot you past your weight you were before.
Right, man.
Whereas if you do it naturally, then your body agrees with you.
Mm. Wow.
You got to understand that there's three parts to every man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, look, my brother, we're at the top of the hour, man. We're going to take a break, and I'm going to come back with some questions and some thoughts on what can we begin to do as a community to begin to address the problems, that we see. And we've talked about the root causes is really what we've been addressing. We've been dealing with the root causes, the breakup of the family, and all of the things that have been happening to us over the years. So, dear brothers and sisters, we're going to take a quick break and give you our commercial announcements once again. And we'll be right back after these commercial announcements. Y'all stand by.
Duo. Raheem Devon, Love King, Club King. Yeah. It's Radio Raheem. I'm back with my Marvin Mayfield again. First up, Afro pick. Let's go. Hey. I remember Marvin Gaye used to sing with me. Yeah, we feeling like that was the thing to be. James Brown used to sing with me. Yeah, we feeling like that was the thing to be. Now you know, like I know, you turn us up on the radio. Don't turn me down, man, keep me up. Don't turn me down, man, keep me up. Don't turn me down. Fathers, teach your babies. Mamas, raise young ladies.
taste supreme. Enjoy our 100% natural Supreme Spring Water with natural calcium and magnesium, but zero fluoride and zero chloride. Our bottles are BPA free. Order yours today. Call us at 800-573-8033. That's 800-573-8033. Or visit us online at www.supremespringwater.com. Live supreme. Be supreme. Drink supreme. Supreme Spring Water, 801 Joseph E. Boone Boulevard, Northwest, Atlanta, Georgia, 30314.
The Urban Indulgence Bath and Body Boutique. At Urban Indulgence, we pride ourselves on offering quality, effective skincare. Handcrafted with plant-based, skin-loving ingredients, our soaps and body butters will give you luxurious lather and ultimate moisture. Experience the Urban Indulgence at 3314 Poplar Avenue in Memphis, 3 blocks west of Poplar Plaza, or shop with us online at theurbanindulgence.com. Theurbanindulgence.com.
Worldwide, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Download the Final Call radio app and take us everywhere. On your phone, on your computer, on your tablet, on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. You can also log on to finalcall.com and click the Listen Live button or finalcallradio.com. Final Call Radio, the official voice of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan and the Nation of Islam.
What's your source for truth in news reports?
Justice, no peace. No justice, no peace.
Where do you turn for non-corporate driven news that's fair and balanced?
No shoot. No shoot.
Subscribe to the Final Call News, your #1 free and independent news source that delivers hard-hitting national and international news coverage of today's political, economic, and social issues. To subscribe to local home delivery, call us at area code 662-252-8999. That's 662-252-8999. Visit our website at www.finalcall.com.
10,000 fearless on the move.
It's 20 past 12. Chilling in the studio. Taking over the world. Assalamu alaikum. Wa alaikum salam. I come in peace. I don't mean you no harm.
Yes, indeed. Assalamu alaikum. Wa alaikum salam. We definitely come in peace. We don't mean you any harm. We're back here live at the 10K Fearless Tri-State Podcast. Again, I'm your host, your brother, and your friend, Abdul Shaheed Muhammad. We're here with our special guest discussing we need boots on the ground to stop the killing in our communities. Our special guest, Minister Rick Ramey. Brother Rick, you still there, my brother?
I'm still here, bro.
Very, very good, brother. Let's dovetail into what I would call the meat of this discussion. And these are the how to or how can questions in terms of problem solving, actionable items. But how can the business and the spiritual community help address the problems we're looking at? All the way from the poverty, some of the root causes. Because we can go to these young brothers and appeal to them, but what can we do at the root? Yes, sir.
Well, I'm involved in several organizations right now to combat that poverty thing. I'm president of the Community Development Corporation right now with Russ College, and the poverty level is based on your housing too. So one of the goals I have right now, and I have some blueprints on the table at the moment to build a 30 to 50 unit housing complex for first time home buyers and things of that nature that I'm introducing to our community. One of the other things is I'm trying to start a tiny house village where if it's single person that wants to just get out, or a college kid that's moving to our area, they would have somewhere to stay that's nice. I'm working on several things when it comes to that, as far as economic development and having entertainment and things for them to do, which I also coach Pee Wee baseball right now. I used to coach Pee Wee football. All of my children are grown, but I'm still giving back to my community and trying to make my community better. And that's where it comes back to where I started. If you can't clean them unless you catch them.
Right, exactly.
And so that was one of the things I was, when I had the opportunity to come to the men's event, I'm calling on our men to take back their rightful place when it comes to our children, not by force, but just by presence. You don't have to kick a door in to make your presence known.
That's right. You don't.
Just your words can change a community. And what I want is our men of this community to come together and let's go into our communities. Because sometimes mom not there. Sometimes the children are left to their own vices and devices.
Yes.
And, for hours before mom gets home, or if she even makes it home. You got children that just roaming the streets. What they say, the idle mind is the devil's workshop.
Yes, sir.
Until we start taking our community back, we're not going to get by. What's the saying? What we take it by force? What is that saying? I got it almost.
Not by might, not by power. Is that what you're referring to?
Yeah. No, it's a scripture. The righteous take it by force. I think that's what it is. We got to get active in our community and go out into our community.
That's correct.
We got to start denying ourselves sometime and start giving back to our community. If you want your community to be better, you got to do something active in your community.
Exactly.
One of the things in this area that I hear constantly is a lot of complaining about what we don't have. We don't have this and we don't have that. Well, sometimes we don't have it because somebody's not willing to take time out of their busy schedule. Yeah, I know you get tired. I'm tired. But I don't want, and the thing about it was I said again, I was able to take my children out of the education system here and put them in a better education system. They're creating a better child from the economic standpoint because they was in a different environment. But I didn't turn my back on my community because I was able to get mine out. I didn't want to leave my little cousin, my family friend, my next door neighbor in that same environment without trying to change it.
Come on, man.
You got to get to a point that you love your community enough to deny yourself and go out in your community and try to make it better. You might fail. Okay, get up, dust yourself off, like the Bible says. A good man falls 7 times, but he get up.
Yeah, that's it.
It also says a good man's steps are ordered by the Lord. Good men have got to start taking steps to do what they want to see in their community.
That's right, Brother Rick. And there's a saying, brother.
T-ball, man. I never played T-ball, but I'm out there coaching. It took me a minute to get I just went through, Googled it, seen what I need to do to train the kids. And every game that we play, I'm watching these children get better at teamwork, get better at this. And if you teach them teamwork at 3, 4, 5 years old, then they'll go through life saying, hey, where my teammate at? Where my bro at? Where my this at? When they get to adulthood, they'll be understanding, I can't leave my brother behind. This is something we're working together.
That's right. To
make our community better, we got to start teaching this again.
Yes,
we got to start teaching the fundamentals before. You can't train a 15-year-old when they high on a vape pen. Like what you were talking about on your last podcast.
Yes, sir.
They infiltrating us with all these vape stores and marijuana stores and not putting anything productive or anything healthy or anything that we need to make our children think better or be better, make them stronger and wiser.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And if we don't take a stand, I'm working with the farmers market on the 9th. They're going to have a farmers market on the square of Holly Springs. And I'm asking everybody to come out and just see what it's about. Take time to bring your family out. Just a fun day to get out and know who's in your community. And you'll discover when you come out of your house, out of your vices. Take time from yourself. Deny yourself the time to come out and find something. You might find some healthy treats. You might find healthy veggies. All these things, people that you didn't know who they were, and you'll discover that you related to these people that you fighting with. If you know a person, it's less likely that you will harm a person if you know that you're related to them. So a lot of these kids are related that are killing each other and doing all these things in the community, fighting each other. There's no way girls should be pulling up in a park and fighting over what? What is it that girl did to you that's so bad that you fighting this girl out in the community? If you accidentally hit her head and kill her, then you going to prison.
Yes, sir. You lose 2.
Over nothing.
You lose 2. 1 to the grave and 1 to a prison cell. 1 to the grave, 1 to the prison cell.
I ain't shoot her. Yeah, but you actively involved in assaulting her because she died.
Yes, sir.
We got to start putting in our children's head the things that they need to survive. You got to think before you make moves. You got to, if you get some education, if you need tutoring, if you got a problem you can't handle, come see me.
Yes, sir.
I know the people that you upset with.
Yes.
Or I know their parent. That's how I communicate in the community now. Like I see somebody, I'm like, what's your name? And they'll tell me, Shay Shay. No, what's your real name? What's your last name? Then I can say, oh, you're such and such's daughter. You know my mama? Yes, I know your mother. You know my dad? Yes, I know your dad. And they are doing, they wouldn't expect you to be out here doing these things. We got to get back to that community mindset of learning who we're dealing with.
Yes, sir. Now, let me ask you this, brother. What can we do? I mean, well, it ain't a question of what can we do. What's the level of willingness, or how can we create a willingness of different churches, organizations that are doing things in the community? In fact, you sent me a video today of a church that's working to address. I think one of the problems we got, brother, is we have a tribalistic approach to trying to solve the problem. And let me qualify that statement. As though Africa was pretty much overtaken because we were segmented off into our little tribes and concerned only with our little tribe and the problem of our little tribe.
Absolutely.
And that allowed Europeans to come in and conquer us.
Absolutely.
And we are doing the same thing as a community. We off in our little corners, whether it's the spiritual community or the business community, and we're doing our own little thing. We got our own little fiefdom. And if you look up, all of us are pursuing the same goal and same objectives. What do you think we can do to increase the level of willingness of church organizations, churches, pastors, business leaders to work together? I think it started, one of the things that started it was Sister Andrianetta Howard with the Marshall County Chamber of Commerce. What can we do? And I want to share with you, once you answer this question, something that we're wanting to put on the minds of the people that we're shooting for May the 30th to do. And but what in your mind can we do, brother? And what do you see? Do you see a level of willingness of these organizations and churches and pastors to work together, regardless of philosophical or spiritual or theological disagreement or differences?
So this is that's why I introduced myself the way that I did, to take my title out of it and just understand that I am a man, Rick Ramey, born and raised in Holly Springs, Mississippi, willing to fight for my community. That we have to stop getting hung up on the titles, the clouts, the name chasing, the want to be big eyes, little you mentality. We have to get back to loving each other as a human race of people. You know, the human race is what race we are dealing with.
Yes. Okay.
There's no color, there's no skin color, because if you start to go do DNA workups and things, you'll discover that you're related to people that you never thought you were related to. So we got to take the color of the skin out and put some skin in the game.
That's the issue. Not enough of us are willing to put in the skin in the game. And what I experienced, brother, is people don't mind the struggle. People don't mind being a part of the struggle, or people will be a part of the struggle only to the degree that it does not inconvenience them.
Absolutely.
If it's going to inconvenience me, costs me time I don't want to give, resources I don't want to give, then, you know, it's kind of like they just put their big toe in the water, but they're not going to swim. They'll put their big toe in, but they're not going to swim. Yes, sir.
And that's one of the things that I told you when I came to that meeting. When we gonna meet again and talk? I'm tired of talking.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
I'm done talking. Let me show you what I'm capable of by denying myself and putting my words into action. I'm going to get and I'm going to try to reach children from birth until adulthood.
Yes, sir.
And how can I do that while I'm sitting in a room with a bunch of men talking about what I'm going to do?
Right. That's it,
I got to get out in the community and try to draw my people back together. From the college, I'm working at the college, trying to get college kids to come out and coach the baby t-ball team in the community. I met with the baseball coaches up there on Russ campus. I hadn't met with the baseball coach at the high school yet, but I'm bridging the gap, putting people in rooms with each other so that you have resources that are right here at your disposal that you're not willing to even tap into.
Exactly. And to your point, brother, we've been in the Holly Springs Career Technical Center working with the students there, the young men and the young women. And as they're about to let out school, and they've been very receptive, and the children are receptive. Teaching young girls, our women have been there just teaching young girls how to cook. You know,
that's the biggest thing, man.
And that's what we did.
Things. You don't think cooking is a thing, but if you just open a child's eyes to cooking and they discover what all they can do with food at their hand, and if they put love in it, what it can produce, you produce a child that want to cook and bring back the family unit just to share food and understand that the love, the care that goes into it. Yes. Those are tremendous things. And I never minimize cooking. Yeah. I'm a good cook. I can cook anything.
Yes, sir.
But that was because both my grandmothers taught me how to cook.
Yes, sir. Yes, that's what brother Chelsea talks about.
Me early. I might not cook on a regular basis, but when I cook, I take care and pride in it. Yes, and I want you to enjoy it. I want it to be an experience when I cook.
That's one of Brother Chelsea's pet peeves, man. At least that's what he's expressed. Food can really bring people together, and he's absolutely right. That's why he's trying to plan. They've rescheduled the Taste of Holly Springs. Well, brother, I ask you those questions because here's the deal. We're desirous of, in the last few minutes we got for tonight's episode, by the 30th of this month, we want to convene a men's only meeting, not just to meet. No. We're going to bring to the meeting actionable items that we're going to ask men to head up and connect the dots, connect ourselves, and establish a network of men that serve as the infrastructure that will help buttress and support the stopping of the violence. We need conflict resolution centers. Churches can serve as that. We need people to be mediators. We need people to be points of contact for our young people in the community, that when they hear of the potentiality of violence happening, they can call somebody. Our children don't trust the police. So we, as the men in the community, the stakeholders, have to be somebody that our children have enough trust in that, well, I can call Minister Rick, and let him know, look, Minister Rick, man, we got a problem, man. Sean, man, him and Bobby, man, they into it, man, and they talk about gunplay and all of this and shooting each other, and we don't want this to happen. Can you intervene? And we have to be fearless enough to go, yes. And we can find a place, a conflict resolution center. It can be our building. We'll make our building available. And we're going to be asking the pastors to make their buildings available and find fearless men and women that can serve as neutral parties that can be conflict resolution mediators, where we can bring the two children or the two parties, whether they're young adults, children, or whatever, together to talk about, well, what is this beef about? What is the smoke in the air? And
Right.
I've done this, brother. I've done it at my high school I graduated from, which was considered at a point in time one of the worst high schools for violence in the city of Memphis. To the point to where the some of the little gang members were having meetings inside of the school during school hours. It was just that out of control.
Right.
And,
Right.
But I'll share more on how to do this.
Where were the men? Where were the men during that time?
Where were the men? They were in the building, but they were not being what God created us to be. But when myself and my coworker, my cohort, Big John, he is the program director now for 88.5 here in Memphis, Shelby County Schools Radio. Big John, he was a school officer then. And for MCS, and of course, I was a school officer for the Memphis Police Department. This was before I got promoted to sergeant. And we went in that school and we began to, and we didn't use just brute force. No.
Right.
We began to educate our children. We began to show them.
You got to be tactful
love,
in your approach.
Right. We showed them love where no one else showed love or concern.
Exactly.
And they responded. So that's what we are shooting for on May the 30th. And we're wanting to do it right there in Holly Springs, preferably at the, we've already sought out usage of the multipurpose center. And we're wanting to call brothers together to put this thing in action.
And that's why I was doing the things that I was doing. And oh wow. Can you hear me?
Okay, you're back. Yes, sir. You went out for a minute, but you're back.
I should have put my phone on Do Not Disturb.
Oh, it's all right, brother. We hear you.
I got a call. Okay, yes, I had a call come in. But that's why I was so doing things so quickly when we had that meeting, as far as getting the flyers and getting names and things. See, those cards, we would have already had those cards printed now if we would only have just stayed, because like I said, at that meeting, we as people get to places and we talk a good game. And as soon as we leave the room, it's back to business as usual. And I was, I'm not interested. I sent a text out several different times and got no response. And that's the thing that I don't want to just be a part of a committee just to say I'm on a committee. I need to see movement, because I'm going to move regardless.
Right.
If it's one person at a time and one gas pump at a time, I'm going to do what I need to do. If it's one child at a time at one baseball field, a football field, a hockey, soccer field, whatever. Well, I'm going to do what I need to do so that when I come home and lay down at night, I know I made my community better.
Yes, sir. And my sentiment is exactly the same. Say
that I've done something to make my community better.
Yes, sir.
And to go back to your point of having a tip line and things like that for the criminal. I'm moving one step further earlier before they even get into it.
Yes.
Them before the kids get into it with each other. Give them some type of element to be around men and show them how to deal with conflict resolution before that. If we have that men's conference, I would say if we get the men there, if they committed to coming to at that time, to let's go from that building to the community.
Yeah. That's
our own different devices.
That is actually part of it. That's why I said I'll share more at the appropriate time. The outline, brother, is it's not a meeting to talk about what we're going to do. No. It is a meeting to put into action what we should have already been doing. Because the thing of it is this, Brother Ramey, everybody is already doing something. See, you're already active. We're already active. We're in the prison, brother. We're going into prison. Okay. And of course, people see us in the community with our news organ, the Final Call newspaper, which really, if our people would just read it, it's news, but it's news from a perspective that's not corporate driven, where they hide the truth from you. Y'all know CNN, MSNBC, and all of these news out. Y'all know these people lying. And if nothing showed that they lie all the time, is what's going on with this war. It's clear.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
they admit that
Yeah.
their own president is the lyingest president they've had in history. So we have to begin to seek other avenues to get accurate and truthful information. And our newspaper is one of those organs. But my point is, brothers are out doing things. The video you sent me earlier today, that shows me somebody is trying to do something. Okay,
that was Pastor Tab Allen.
Yeah,
and
I couldn't remember his name.
New Dimension,
Yes.
New Dimension Church. And they, you know, and this is the thing. I don't have to be the head of anything.
That's correct.
I just want to be the support to a thing.
Right.
That you know, it's not about my title. It's not about your title. It's not about that, because if we continue to focus on those things, we're missing the point.
The whole thing.
You know, we're missing the whole thing. We're missing that our children are being shot at clubs at night. I remember I used to love to go to a club. I would walk in the club and stay all night, shoot pool and do all that, and wasn't one fight because we were dancing and having a good time. And now you're afraid to even drive by a club going down the street a half a block away.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Because you don't know what could happen.
It's unfortunate. It really is unfortunate.
Yeah, you know, and until we start to say our community is going, you know, Channel 3. I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna Channel 3. Was it Channel 3 or Channel 5? Will come on at 10 o'clock, and they will say, "Do you know where your children are?"
Yep,
it's 10 o'clock.
It's 10
Do you know
o'clock.
where your children
I remember that.
And every time they ask that question, that I will walk through there, and that they would ask that question, I would say, "I absolutely do. They in there in the bed."
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
If
We knew because we was at home.
Where your children are, it's something wrong.
Something very wrong, brother. And we live in
not with their other parent.
Yeah, we live in a day and age, brother, where children are allowed, man, to roam the street all times of night and day, man. I mean, even in Little Holly Springs, brother. I've looked at our camera. We have a camera system around our building. And sometimes we get movement where we shouldn't get movement. Sometimes people just going through the cut, taking a shortcut to go here, there, or another. And occasionally just off the cuff, I'll check it. And sometimes, brother, at 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, when I wake up the next day and review the replays, 1, 2, and 3 o'clock in the morning, little children, man, walking down Memphis Street, 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, okay. So as we've stated, brother, we got to have a willingness to come together to get some boots on the ground. That's why I call this episode, "We Need Boots on the Ground." We don't need no more meetings, you know, just to meet.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we understand the purpose of a meeting, but if that meeting does not yield actionable items whereby once we leave that meeting, we go do something and then come back with the metrics and measurable progress of what we did, then that was a meeting for nothing. And what we started, Brother Rick, with the real talk sessions that we had during spring break, I simply refused to let it die, brother, which is why I invited you on here. And I think we got a good group of men that we've started with. It's about 12 of us so far for the brothers that are listening. And if you're listening to the listening audience, if you want to be a part of what we're doing, keep your ear to the ground. I'm going to stay joined at the hip with this brother that I'm talking with now. There are other brothers, brother like Chelsea Malone, who would like to do something positive in the community, and all of those brothers that were at that meeting, the Real Talk session. You can take us at our word. You can take me at my word. Let me speak for me, because this is our mandate in the Nation of Islam, to make our communities a decent and safe place to live. And I can't do that sitting in the mosque all day every Sunday and not at some point getting my backside out in the neighborhood with some sneakers on and a warm-up suit, hitting the streets and meeting face to face. If God can meet with Moses, if God can come down and meet with Moses face to face and speak to him as a man speaketh unto his friend, well, who in the world am I that I can't come from behind that rostrum and from behind that pulpit and go out in the community and meet our young brothers where they are? And that's what we do. So, Brother Rick, man, look, it's been a pleasure.
Amen. Likewise, man.
It has indeed been an honor, and we certainly thank you, brother, for coming on. And you will not be a stranger, brother. God willing, we'll get you back on, because we want to talk about the progress we've made and bring hopefully some parents on to
Yes.
to talk about how what we're doing is affecting their children and their young men and women, young boys and
Right.
girls for the better. So we can have
Right.
some testimonials of what we're doing in the community. So, brother, look,
Absolutely.
until next time, my brother, God bless you with success in what you're doing. And we're going to keep doing what we're doing. And until next time, brother, as we say as Muslims, we say, Assalamu alaikum. That simply means, may peace be unto you. Until next time, my brother. All right?
Likewise, dog. Likewise.
All right.
Yes.
Praise God. That was our brother, Minister. He ain't no title, brother, but I'm going to give it to him right now, Minister Rick Ramey of Holly Springs, Mississippi. We certainly thank our brother for being our guest tonight. Brothers and sisters, that brings us to the end of tonight's episode of the 10K Fearless Tri-State Podcast. We certainly thank all of you for tuning in and being a part of tonight's program and discussion. We want to remind everyone, we want to get about 1,000 people in Holly Springs and Marshall County, just 1,000, to subscribe to the Final Call newspaper, meaning we want you to be a weekly reader of our newspaper. We want to hand deliver it, or you see us on the corners on the weekends, come by and pick you one up, but we want to get it into your home. If you would be willing to receive a copy of the Final Call newspaper every week, it's just $2 a week. That's just $8 a month, okay? Give us a call at area code 662-252-8999. You can drop us an email or drop us a letter or a line. Send it to 10K Fearless, Post Office Box 517, Holly Springs, Mississippi, 38635. That's Post Office Box 517, Holly Springs, Mississippi, 38635. And if you live in Holly Springs, Marshall County, we can make sure that newspaper gets on your door every week. Or you can give us a call at 662-252-8999. We're asking you to support our bean pie program. We have that Supreme Bean Pie. Yeah, I know y'all heard about the Muslims and the bean pie. Don't play. You should try that Supreme Bean Pie. We have them available right there at 165 North Ida B. Wells, formerly known as Memphis Street. Come by and get you one of our Supreme Bean Pies for a modest donation that will help support our ministry and allow us to continue to do what we're striving to do of good in Holly Springs and Marshall County. Please make sure you support those who support us. Supreme Spring Water, Be Supreme, Drink Supreme, Supreme Spring Water. Make sure you support them. And also make sure you support The Urban Indulgence Bath and Body Boutique. Log on and you can order online at www.theurbanindulgence.com, theurbanindulgence.com. Make sure you support the Final Call Radio app. You go to the App Store, Google Store, and you can download the App Store on the OS devices, Mac devices, Apple device, and download Final Call Radio, where you can hear excerpts from the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So, man, look, that was a beautiful discussion with my brother Rick Ramey. And we want everyone, brothers and sisters, always remember, please remember, that when it comes to struggling to do something good in our community, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan has said to us, quote, "No one can attempt to help our people do anything productive and constructive without feeling personal hurt, pain, loss, being evil spoken of, falsely accused, sometimes beaten, sent to prison, or even put to death. This is the path of Jesus. This is the path of Muhammad. And this is the path of every sincere person who wants to see his or her people delivered from our present condition." End quote. Always remember, dear brothers, the development of a community begins with the development of self. And we in the Nation of Islam say these words: self-improvement is the basis for community development. So till next time, we leave you as we came to you with the greeting words of peace, of Assalamu alaikum, or peace be unto you.
Gotta make a move and take control. Have something we can call our own. So shine your light, help the people see that now is the time for us to be free. And if you waiting on the pie in the sky, you better wake up fast. They told you a lie, cause big fields await the wide awake man. Elijah's got the master.
10,000 fearless. move. MK Fearless. Mississippi. MK Fearless. On the move. Mississippi. Sip. Injustice, we've had enough. All of our divisions, we're breaking up. Destiny has been calling us. The spirit of the Most High is guiding us.
See, the time is now. What you waiting on? Quit shooting your brothers. Put your gun down. Come on. They got a cage waiting for you if you keep that up. Early graves coming to you. From that, can't raise you up. Now, Sister Ida B and Fannie Lou, check them out and you'll know what to do. But if you really want your enemy to be alarmed, read the final call. Follow Farrakhan.
10,000 fearless. On the move. MK Fearless. Mississippi. MK Fearless.